Hey, gang, welcome back to the old cellar. Oh, but I've been waiting to do this. It's been killing me uh, to open up this wonderful AOK from ERIK K. Okay. uh, Thank you all for stopping by and sharing this with me. I greatly appreciate it, Eric, and you know that. Without even knowing what's in it, I just appreciate the thoughtfulness and generosity. Thank you so much. I also want to wish a happy birthday to fellow community member Higgy Pop. Yeah, it's his 50th birthday today. So happy birthday, Higgy. I know he was out there in New York traveling around, getting some comics. Yeah. Nothing like getting some comics. So, all right. Well, let's see here. And I'm going to try and keep it to about an hour. So we'll see how that goes. You guys know me. You guys get me talking comics or wrestling, and I lose track of time. Hope everybody's enjoying their Sunday afternoon, getting ready for the Super Bowl. How many people out there going to watch the Super Bowl tonight? Who you picking? Me and the missus, we are decided to go with San Francisco, mainly because my wife hates the quarterback for Kansas City. I can't even think of his name. And the whole Taylor Swift thing she's had up to here with Taylor Swift. So she says, we're rooting for San Francisco. And I said, of course we are. Doggone right. So, oh man, I've been kind of napping this afternoon. Watched a little bit of Gunsmoke, some Riflemen, but then I kind of drifted in and out here. So, then I wanted to get down here, so I set up the live stream, put out the notification. Just started my wood stove about 30 minutes ago, so that'll be roaring. And by the time I get done here, I'll be able to load it up again, and we'll have it. It's probably about 62 in the house right now, so that's pretty good for us. It's like balmy. So, but except for down here, it'll take a little time for that to warm up, get around here. But when it does, she'll be nice and toasty. Kind of keeps this area kind of cool, which is good for the comics. So, what are you going to do? But lurking in the background, over the horizon, there comes a snowstorm. I was so hoping Puxatawny Phil was gonna, bring us some luck and keep the snow away for the rest of the winter, but no such luck. They said 6 to 12 inches. We're in the heavy section, southern Maine and New Hampshire, so we're supposed to get probably close to 12 inches. I'm hoping they're wrong. I'm so hoping they're wrong. I just don't want it just makes everything so miserable to deal with. Shoveling my driveway. You've heard me complain and bemoan my driveway. It has a driveway like this, and then up at the top it levels out, but it's about 60 feet of angle going up, so it makes it a lot of fun to either shovel or try and get up and down with a vehicle if it's like icy on the ground, snowy on the ground, and everything like that. So anyway, you didn't come here to hear me pee and moan about snowfall. I know that. We are here because ERIK K, one of the great ones in the community, sent me he just sent me an AOK package. What did I do with I got him right there. Just sent me a package not too long ago, a couple weeks ago, with some wrestling, some vintage wrestling magazines from the 70s. It was wicked cool. And they were ones that I didn't have in my collection, because I've got about 4 small magazine boxes full of various wrestling magazines and stuff like that. So I am dying. I've been dying since I got this, and since he told me that it was coming, to see what's in here. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna go and flip over here and see who's actually hanging out with me here today. Let's see. Dun, dun, dun. And right off the top, there's Higgy Pop. Happy birthday, Higgy. Happy 50th birthday, my friend. Welcome to the Over 50 Fossil Club. Great to have you with me here right today. And Easy Comic Reader, he's saying, hey, Doc. Hey to you too, EC Reader. Just watch the EC Reader, Easy Comic Reader's one of his videos where it's like a fireplace type of thing, like a little fireplace. What is the word I'm looking for? Not a fireplace, because that indicates that it's like in a house, but it's like a little campfire type of thing, you know. And in the background, he's got the audio of like all these different Marvel cartoon VHS, or doesn't have to be VHS, but Marvel cartoon soundtracks. You can hear the voices, and you can hear some of the. I heard the Thor theme, which I always thought was a great theme, along with I like the Hulk one, a little weak at the end, but what are you gonna do, but so definitely get over there and check out Easy Comic Reader channel. And he says happy birthday to Higgy Pop as well. There we go. And ERIK K, yes, the man of the hour, the man with the power, too sweet to be sour. ERIK K, he says, hey, Rod and everyone, happy birthday to Higgy. Yes, sir, Bob. Happy birthday, man. And if you're like me, when you hit 50, you're like, where did the last 20 years go, 25 years go? I remember when I hit 25, I remember thinking to myself, man, at that point, the life expectancy was about 75. And I'm thinking, a third of my life is over, man. A third of my life is over. It was like, oh, and then it's like, oh, forget about that. Let's go live some more. So, Easy Comic Reader, he's giving a fist bump to ERIK K. Higgy Pop says, easy, you old owl hoot you, he says. Higgy Pop says, thanks so much, ERIK. And ERIK K says, you're welcome, Higgy. ERIK K says, hey, easy. And the Jackson Roy Kirk. Oh, Jackson, great to have you with us, sir. He says, okay, hello, folks. There we go. And ERIK K says, hey, Jackson. Higgy Pop says, why, thank you so much, Rod. Question mark? Question mark? Yeah, you don't know what it means to be over 50 Fossils Club, right? So that's all right. It's great because we still have our comics. And like a famous man once said, they make you smart. There you go. Easy Comic Reader says, the Jackson Roy Kirk fist bump. Jackson Roy Kirk says, ERIK, easy, Higgy, he covered them all. Right there, boom. ERIK K says, Rod, did you ever watch The Time Tunnel or Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea? Really? Really? You're going to ask me if I've ever watched The Time Tunnel or Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea? Of course I have. I love great vintage TV. Time Tunnel was a major TV show that I watched all the time. Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, I didn't get to see as much. I saw it in reruns and I enjoyed it. And you could see how it started out as a pretty serious show. And then they got into more like I call the Lost in Space Aliens of the Week type of thing, But yes, I enjoyed them both. In fact, I am working on making a t-shirt with various logos of those shows. Time Tunnel's included, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea is included, Lost in Space is included, Land of the Giants is included, Wild Wild West is included. I'm just gathering all the images, and then I'm going to take them to a t-shirt shop down at the mall, and I'm going to have them put them on, and I'll have some kind of logo on it that says vintage, the best vintage TV or the best TV shows ever, type of thing. So absolutely, Eric, you lucky bugger. You're binge watching the Time Tunnel and Voyage. I record Time Tunnel on Me TV. I record it whenever it's on. So I've got about probably, I think right now I've got 20. I have to go in and watch them, and I delete them as I watch them. So I think I got about 10 or 20 right now in there. So I should look up Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. I'm sure they got it on there and watch that. But yes, that's awesome, Eric. Jackson Roykirk says, keeping quiet at home, avoiding all the Mardi Gras madness here. Had my fill of it in my younger days. There you go. Yeah, well, that's like I told you, we probably have like a pine cone parade up here, but no, it's too cold to go outside and stand in a parade. So no, I'll take my quiet little house. Thank you very much. My little live stream. Easy Comic Reader says it's a chilly 81. Chilly 81. Chilly 81 down here in the sunny South Texas. Excuse me. Just pulled some burgers and chicken off the grill. Oh, man. Sounds like somebody's having a good time. Tempest from Mars, thank you very much for joining us, sir. He says, evening all. That's right. I keep forgetting. For some reason, I think you're just across the pond to the north, and you're like 5 hours apart, but you're more like 12 hours, aren't you? Something like that. I'm not sure, but thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with us all here. We're just kind of getting ready to show the AOK from Eric. And Jackson Roykirk says, easy, I'll be over for dinner. There you go. There you go. Jackson Roykirk says, hey, Tempest. And Easy Comic Reader says, come on over, Jackson. Fist bump. The more the merrier, he says. It's an old washing machine tub. Oh, that what it was. And in the video, he's saying it's an old washing machine tub. Oh, cool. Oh, that's neat. But I just loved hearing all that stuff in the background. Is like, oh, man, you could close your eyes. Man, I could close my eyes and I could picture myself, watching it in front of the TV. Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, those were two biggies that I watched. I didn't get to see the rest of the Marvel heroes until, well, I got to see a couple episodes through the rabbit ears on the antenna on the TV, but I did not get to see them regularly because we just couldn't get in the channel. It was Channel 7 out of Boston, I believe. And a couple of times I did get to see him on some of the live kids TV shows. Like there was a TV show out of Portland, just an hour north of me from the TV station up there, called The Captain and the Kids. And it was, the captain, he was like on a boat, and he'd have a bunch of kids there, whether Boy Scouts or whatever and stuff like that. And they'd hand out treats and stuff like that, and then they would show cartoons, and they'd show I remember seeing a Submariner cartoon on there once. I know they showed Aquaman too, so I don't know how that worked because I remember seeing them both on there. So very cool. Gotham City Comics, hey Kevin, how are you, sir? If you get a chance, definitely check out Gotham City Comics. You see him all the time on Gratu. You know what kind of a store he's got. He's got an awesome store out there. I wish I lived closer because I would love to go through your store, because from what I've seen on Gratu's videos, when you've been on there, phenomenal, man. Phenomenal. Absolutely. So definitely check him out. Paul S. Hey, how you doing, Paul? He says, hey, Dr. Silver Age, how are we doing this Super Sunday? We're doing all right. We're doing all right. We're doing all right. So I got myself a little, finishing up my little toasted bagel here with some butter. Mm-hmm. Yum, yum, yum. So we're just counting down to the Super Bowl. I want to hear who everybody's rooting for in the Super Bowl. I told you before, me and my wife, we're going with San Francisco. ERIK K says, I just discovered both shows. I am a little younger than you. No, nobody can be younger than me. We're all the same age. He says, yes, the first season of Voyage was definitely more serious, but I like the other seasons as well. Yeah, I did too. I love the whole show all the way through. I didn't mean to imply that I didn't. you can notice a definite difference in the writing and everything. Where they went to the alien of the week thing, but it was still cool. It was still a cool show. Man, I was fascinated by the technology and stuff then. You know, you'd see like on Lost in Space, all the computers with the lights blinking and stuff like that. I was fascinated by that stuff. And I would go out and try to recreate that in my imagination. I'd build things out in the woods, you know, take stumps, you know, roll them over and make like a what do you want to call it? Like a bridge on the Star Trek and stuff, you know, and everything was made with wood and branches and stuff like that. But it's a lot of fun. So yeah, that's very cool. Voyage to the bottom of the sea. Higgy Pop says, sunny South Texas, my butt. What's going on here? Michael Taylor is here. Hey, Michael, great to have you with us here. Thanks for joining the party. He says, hello, Doc, and hello to you. He's a comic reader. He got a big old grin going. Paul S. says, make sure you put Electra Woman and Dinah Girl on the T-shirt, too. I was going for those shows that I used to watch in the 60s, like, or in the early 70s after school. That's what I was shooting for. But I can understand why you might want Electra Woman and Dinah Girl. What was it? Deidre Hall, was that her name? She played Electra Woman. So I remember that. Whoops, my chair is collapsing on me. There we go. But yes, I do remember that. Easy Comic Reader says, hey, Mike Taylor, fist bump. Jackson Roy Kirk says, Electra Woman and Dinah Girl. Jackson Roy Kirk says, hey, Michael. And Gotham City Comics says, thanks. Oh, no, thank you, man. Thanks for taking the time out of your Sunday and hanging out with us. I greatly appreciate it, man. I know you're probably busy out there. So Mike Taylor says, I audio taped the 67 FF. That was the only way to tape it. There were no VCRs back then. Yeah, you got that right. Imagine if there was, all the stuff we would have gotten, all the toy commercials and stuff on Saturday mornings, all those TV shows where they show you the what's coming up on the new season on Saturday mornings. I used to love those shows. They'd be on like either a Thursday or a Friday night, depending on which network it was. And they used to, you know, load you up, get you excited for all the shows that were going to debut that Saturday. I love that stuff. Crazy Hungarian is here. Oh, and he's rooting for the Kansas City Chiefs. There you go. And Michael Taylor says, I don't have a dog in the fight. Yeah, me neither. Neither do we, because we're up here in New England, so we are Patriots fans. I just want to see a great game, yes, because a lot of times the games are so disappointing. Yes, you want to see a close, competitive game, you know. Absolutely. You hate it when it turns into a blowout, and then it's just like, okay, what do I get to look forward to now? The commercials, you know? So, yeah, gotcha. Michael Taylor says, hello, Higgy. Lead Paint, he's clapping. Hey, great. Lead Paint, great to have you with us, too, by the way. It's been, I forgot what I was going to say. I was going for something, and it just dropped out. Gone. But thank you so much for hanging out with us, though. Appreciate it, sir. And Captain UK all the way from across the pond, he says, hi, Doc and everyone. Good morning or good afternoon to you. It's probably still morning, right? You're 5 hours behind or ahead. I can't remember. Michael Taylor says, hello, ECR. And Captain UK says hi to Michael. Michael Taylor says hello to ERIK K. Michael Taylor also says hello to Jackson. And the Jackson Rockert says, I don't have a dog in the Super Bowl race. I just hope what's his name doesn't propose to what's her name when the Chiefs win. And they will win, he says. It's good. It's too good of a script to pass up. Well, I've heard that. I've heard that from a few corners, that there is indeed a script. Is it going the way of pro wrestling? I don't know. Jackson Roy Cook says, "Up." Oh, I see, because it passed up a little word there. Okay. Michael Taylor says, "Hello, TFM." Michael Taylor says, "Hi, GCC." Whoops. He also says hello to Paul S. and to the crazy Hungarian as well. Easy Comic Reader says, "Not a KC fan, but I still hurt from the catch in 1981 49ers Dallas playoff game." Well, at that time, I was a Patriots fan, number one, but the Patriots never made the playoffs at all. So that was just nothing but a rumor to us. Playoffs, they were just a rumor. But the Niners beat the Cincinnati Bengals, who I was rooting for in 1980. I think it was 80 when they swapped those helmets for the striped, the black and orange striped helmets. I said, that is cool. I'm rooting for them. So, and then they got smoked. So no, that was I can relate to that. I can relate to that. Mike Taylor says hello to Lev Paint. Captain UK says 9:30-ish in the evening. So you're ahead of us. Okay. All right. Gotcha, Captain. Awesome. Awesome. Well, good evening to you, sir. Mike Taylor says hello to the captain. And the professor, Eric Green, he says, "Thanks for bringing up my Super Bowl misery." Yeah, I know, brother. I'm with you, because I was right there. I was right there. I wanted the Stripes to win. The old, but no, was not to be. Twice. The two times I saw them in the Super Bowl, they did not get to win. But they won though since then, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll take that. We'll take that. All right, that catches us up with everybody. So I think it's time now to do some unboxing here. Let's see what we got right here. Yes, sir. All right. Dum, 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 dum. Oh, wow. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'll tell you what, it's heavy. Oh, yeah, baby. I'm just reading the note on it here. Oh, man. Oh, well, thank you so much, Eric. Thank you so much. I don't think he'll mind if I just give you the gist of this. He says he wanted to give me the last of his wrestling magazine collection to a good home. So thank you very, very much. He knows me. He knows me being a huge wrestling fan, as big a wrestling fan as he is as well. And oh yeah, baby. Oh, this is one I don't have, and I always wanted. Oh man. Oh, I had that one, but I gave it away. That's cool. Classic. Oh yes. Oh, Eric, man. Oh, that's too much, Eric, man. Oh man. All right, I gotta show you guys this. They are his wrestling magazines from his personal collection. So they're gonna mean a lot to me. Anybody who bestows something from their personal collection that they bought off the rack, to somebody else, to me that has a whole different level of reverence to it, so I greatly appreciate this. But this is one I remember on the rack, and I never got it. The wrestler, but it's the man right there, superstar Billy Graham, baby. Oh yeah, all bloodied up, juicing. He's juicing. He's leaking. Great stuff. Jack Briscoe wins the world title. Look, it's the red NWA belt. Cool beans. And the Love Brothers. Oh my gosh, the Love Brothers. I remember seeing Hartford and Reginald Love, the Love Brothers, on IWA Wrestling for a couple of weeks in 1975, I believe it was. Eddie Einhorn I believe he owned one of the Chicago ball teams. He started a wrestling organization, a wrestling group, the IWA, and for a couple of weeks they were on the station up here that used to have the WWF. I don't know how that worked out, but I remember they used to be on there. Hartford and Reginald Love, the Love Brothers. Oh man, thank you so much, Eric. That is just that in and of itself is just too cool for school right there. That is tremendous. Oh, and this one here, 1976, baby, April 1976, before 22,094 people, stunned fans. It's Bruno taking on superstar Billy Graham. Yes, sir, baby. Oh, that's so great, man. He knows I'm a big superstar Billy Graham fan. He is the reason that I fell in love with tie-dye. I mean, just look at it. Tie-dye, black and gold like that. I love it. He was just so different from any of the wrestlers really at that time that I could see. I mean, I know there were dynamic guys like Dusty Rhodes, and stuff like that. Jesse Ventura shortly after, but I didn't get to see them guys too often. I read about him in the book, but when superstar Billy Graham came, it was like, whoa, he's a man. That is so cool. And I remember I used to have this magazine. And I wound up giving a lot of my magazines from the 70s to my cousins. And then when they moved out of their house, they gave them back to me. And at the time, I don't know what I was thinking, but at the time, I got rid of some of them. I just threw them out. And I don't understand. I couldn't tell you what. I must have had a mental fit or something. I don't know, but yeah, I did. I got rid of a bunch of them, but so this one will definitely fill that gap, fill that void. Thank you so much, Eric. Oh man. And of course, this one here, this has been in the wrestling news lately. This particular story, cover story right here. And this is from 1979. Dusty Rhodes taking on superstar Billy Graham with a bull rope match. Madison Square Garden, I believe it was. And they're referencing this as part of the storyline currently in the WWE with Dusty's son, Cody, is going up for his dad in this match. His dad won by I think it was count out or disqualification. It was either one. It was one or the other. It might have been disqualification. And so the bell rang, and he thought he won. Of course, this is all in kayfabe, right? He knows he wasn't going to win the title, but in the storyline, he thought he won. So he's like got a hold of the belt, and he was holding the belt, and the referees and officials took the belt away, saying, "No, sorry, Dusty, that's not the way it goes. You have to win by pinfall or submission." So now, fast forward to the current time, his son Cody said, that was the one world title that eluded his dad that he wanted, and so he wants to finish the story and win that title so he can win it for his dad, the memory of his dad. So it's a big story right now in pro wrestling, in the WWE. So definitely cool. What are some of the other stories? Ivan Koloff's incredible claim. Mr. Wrestling 2 is Bob Backlund. What? No, it's Tim Woods. Come on. Blackjack Mulligan says, how Andre the Giant changed my life. Well, you lay a couple of them, big ham hocks upside your melon. It'll change more than your life. It'll change the way you think. Has Jack Briscoe received his last title shot? Oh no. And up here it says Paradise Alley. Remember the movie? Sylvester Stallone, man. Paradise Alley. Terry Funk was in it. I remember seeing it I couldn't wait to see it at the theater because it was what? A wrestler's going to be in a movie? Oh, I want to see it. Terry Funk. And they got a little picture of him up there, right there. So Paradise Alley. Yes, sir, Bob. Oh, man. That's cool. Thank you so much, Eric. Oh, man. You way overdid it. Oh, my gosh. All right. This one here, rounding out the crew. This is from December 1980, the year I graduated. I graduated high school, 1980. The Last Tango in Tampa. Dusty Rhodes wrestles Harley Race in front of 20,000 people. Showdown at the Shea between Bruno and Larry Zbyszko, his former protege. Great card right there. Superdome Spectacular. This is all about big, it says right here. Special edition. Excuse me. The most spectacular wrestling shows of all time. Part of the Wrestler. There we go. Look at that. Oh man, I just looking at him. I'm just looking at it on my screen right here, and it takes me back, to seeing these on the racks. We used to go to a place called Flynn's Market here in South Berwick, and that was my only place that I could go to find wrestling magazines. No place else had wrestling magazines around, but they had them. And once in a while, my grandfather would go there to pick up the papers instead of the Stop and Go. And if Stop and Go was out of the papers, he'd go up there, and I'd go with him, and I'd get a wrestling magazine, baby. Yeah. Oh, that is awesome, awesome, awesome. I remember that whole thing with Bruno. That was a big deal, man. It was a big deal. And this right here, if I'm not mistaken, this right here, this photo was taken after the match. Bruno had won the match, and Bruno's leaving the ring. He's like, I had enough. I beat you. I'm done. I'm done with you. Zbyszko was trying to get Bruno's attention. The way they portrayed it was he wanted to shake his hand, and he spun Bruno around. And when he did, Bruno this is the picture. When he spun Bruno around, Bruno wham, let him have one right in the kisser right there. And I think, no, it wasn't shake his hand. It was to raise Bruno's hand. That's what it was. It was to raise Bruno's hand, showing he's the winner. Because he did do it even after he got punched. He raised Bruno's hand, and Bruno was just like, yeah, I'm done with you. See ya. And of course, everybody believes that, they were good friends, and now they're bitter enemies. And no, in real life, man, they were very, very close friends. It's a great story if you've ever heard it about how Larry gets to be Bruno's protege. He was the only guy Bruno ever really trained, worked with as far as, training him for the business. So it was very, very cool. That is so cool. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. Eric, thank you so much, man. Look at that. Look at that right there. That history right there. Oh, that is. There we go. We're going to go right back through them one more time. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. I love this. This is one of those ones that just I always felt was unattainable to me. And it was about superstar Billy Graham, and he's bleeding. And it's like, I want to know what this is about. And so now, only a few decades later, I'm going to get to read this. This is so cool. That is awesome. And of course, Bruno. This is sad. This was one. Well, it was sad in one way because I was a Bruno fan. But I was also a superstar fan. And when he beat Bruno for the title, so, then he lost. Then Superstar lost it to Howdy Doody. I think he could have been such a charismatic guy. I think he could have been a champion that we would have still been talking about today. So, and here's the bull rope match, baby. They're both leaking. Oh, awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Eric. Greatly appreciated, sir. And yes, they will have a nice forever home right here amongst my collection as well. They'll be going in with those other ones. I'm going to put them right up here. Come on. There we go. All right. Look at the old Caps holding them right up there. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Eric. I can't thank you enough, man, because number one, that you would, whoops, what is that? Okay. Number one, that, like I said, for somebody to give up something from their personal collection that they bought, you know, and have had all their life, I mean, that just takes it to another level for me, you know, because I know what my books that I bought off the rack, I know what they mean to me. And I'm sure they mean the same to the folks that own those books. And like you owning these, you know, you bought them off the rack. Unbelievable. And to pass them on to me, I greatly appreciate it, man. Oh, man. It just, I'm going to get all misty eyed here. But thank you so much. So much. All right, let's see what folks are saying. Let's see what folks are saying. Let's see. Oh, all right, Jackson. Yeah, he's working overtime today. Thank you so much for the starting line, sir. Greatly appreciate that. Paula says, I have that 67 FF on DVD. I like one with her or two. I like one with her or, did I miss something? One with her or two, but it wasn't as good. Okay, I'm not exactly sure. I probably missed something, Paul. So I'm not doing your comment justice here. I'd love to get that 67 FF on DVD. I missed out on the chance when I had a chance to get some, but I didn't. I've got and I still got to get a couple of the Hanna-Barbera ones that I want to get, like Herculoids and stuff like that. I've got all the stuff on VHS because I recorded them directly off of Hanna-Barbera's World of Super Adventure, you know. So I've got first generation copies of them, you know, and I even have, I think I've showed you guys, I don't know how many of you might have been here and saw them. I actually have a 16 millimeter reel of Mitor, the Mighty Mitor and Moby Dick cartoons. I got one reel of that, and I got a reel of Fantastic Four, the 67 Fantastic Four, 16 millimeter film. And I have no way of ever showing these or anything, but I got them out of the back of Comic Buyer's Guide way back in the day, like 88, I want to say. And so I've got actual reels of those two cartoons, but I can't show them, and I don't know. I wouldn't know how you do that. You'd have to buy a machine, special machine nowadays. I'm sure, but I did have the Fantastic Four one. I took it to back in the day, they had a company around here that started up a business where you could bring, home movies and stuff like that. And they would transfer it to VHS. So I did take the Fantastic Four one and had them transfer it to VHS on, I'm looking to see if I can see the thing, but I don't see it here. I know it's in a brown case. And I'm trying to remember where I have it. I got so many videotapes, man. If you guys ever saw how many boxes. I've got an entertainment center, a wooden entertainment center against the wall there, and it is just filled top to bottom with VHS tapes of wrestling, cartoons, TV shows, newsworthy events that happened. Like 911. I've got footage from different things while that was still happening live and all that. Stuff like that. I'm telling you, I've got about 5,000 videotapes. VHS tapes of different things, and it's just to keep track of them. I told you, my son's trying to digitize them all for me. So that'll take him a lifetime, maybe another one. So, all right. Michael Taylor says, Doc, your Patriots played the 85. Oh man, Michael, you're going to do that to me. Oh man, that's painful. That's painful. Yeah, it was a good first 2 minutes of the ball game, and then after that, it was right downhill, mister. He says, unfortunately, they played a juggernaut that wasn't going to lose to any team. Yeah, you are correct. I can't deny that. They were on a mission, and they completed it. And the Patriots just folded up like a house of cards in a tornado. Not good. Not good. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. Eric Breen says, Jackson, hi, old buddy, he says. Paul S. says, hey, Michael. Mike Taylor says, hello to Eric. And Jackson Roykirk says, Eric, hi, older pal. Eric Breen says, hey, Michael. ERIK K says, bloody covers sold magazines. Yes, it did. Yes, it did, man. Because if you look, the majority of them have bloody covers or bloody pictures on the cover. The other thing that sold them was apartment house wrestling. Remember that? That was a big thing in the 70s, late 70s. Apartment house wrestling. And it was always girls in bikinis and wrestle. I guess from what I understand, they would go, people could pay them. They would come to your place, your house, your apartment or whatever, and put on a wrestling match. And they would they'd shoot the pictures and publish them in the magazine. If I remember correctly, that's how things were done. I just, being a kid, I was not interested that much in the apartment house wrestling. I thought it was stupid. I was like, no, I want to know about, superstar Billy Graham battling with Wahoo McDaniel in the NWA or AWA, that type of stuff. That's what I'm just, what can I tell you? How things change. Gratu, hey Gratu, great to have you with us, sir. All the way from Rural Retreat, Virginia. He says, hello to you, sir. Eric Breen says, and all this time, we just assumed you were a deadhead. See, well, there you go. I mean, you won't believe the amount of people or the amount of reasons I've heard from people as to why they thought I wore the tie-dye. It's from political spectrums to, just like you said, deadhead, musical stuff. And it's just like when they find out the truth, they're so disappointed. They're so, I mean, it's like, no, it's because superstar Billy Graham wore it and he looked cool. So I've always wanted to look cool. Still doesn't help me, though. Still doesn't help me. I ain't cool. That's my lot in life. Tempest from Mars says, I feel like I have a point. I have to point something out that's behind you each time. This time it's the Metamorpho figure. Nice. Yeah, isn't that cool? I love that Metamorpho. I'm knocking over some books here. What's going on here, fellas? Oh, can't be having that. You guys just stay put right there, please. Yes, that Metamorpho one is cool. That's what now? Come on now. Well, this stuff is falling all over here. What are we having? An earthquake here? Unbelievable. Right. Stay put. Yes, that Metamorpho was one of the first action figures I ever bought. I loved it because I love Metamorpho, number one. But just the packaging, they've got the go-go checks up on the top of it. you know? So it was just like, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So yeah, good eyes out there. Eagle-eyed, Tempest from Mars. ERIK K says, that one with Superstar and Bruno is one of my all-time favorite covers. That is from Madison Square Garden. Also, it has a story of Terry Funk defeating Jack Briscoe. Now Terry Funk won. Didn't he? Did he win the title? Was that the one in Toronto? Where Terry Funk won it in Toronto? I want to say he. For some reason, I thought Funk was involved. I mean, Harley Race was involved with that title shot in Toronto. I could be totally wrong. The years start to blend together. But yes, Terry Funk, man. Terry Funk was awesome. He really was. Michael Taylor says, I agree. Anytime somebody gives you something from their childhood, it's extra special. Yes, yes, yes. Dr. Von Chiller is known to do that, as you know. Yes, sir. Yes, I do. He was so gracious and wonderful. He gifted me his Power Records. And that just blew me away, man. Just blew me away. So just the same as ERIK giving me these, blew me away, man. I mean, these are just they're not just wrestling magazines, you know. They're not just vintage magazines. They're a part of my life back in the day, and now here I've got these awesome copies of books that were gifted to me from somebody else's personal collection. That's just tremendous, man. That's just I don't have the right words to tell everybody and ERIK especially what that means to me. It's unbelievable to me, you know. It really is, and I greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it. Michael Taylor says hello to Gratu. Easy Comic Reader says Terry Funk. Yeah, hook 'em horns. Terry Funk, man, he was awesome. Rob Brown, hey Rob, how you doing? He says, didn't they screw Cody though? It's continuing on. Bring the Rock into it, etc. Yeah, well, I'll do it real quick. I believe this whole thing has been orchestrated by none other than Paul Heyman. Not in his role on screen, but his role behind the scenes as being part of creative. Because this feels like something he would have done when he owned ECW back in Philadelphia, back in the day in the 90s. This is the type of booking that Paul would have done. He would have constantly have you swerve. You think you're going this way. He swerves you this way, but really he still wants you to go back that way, you know, for another. So I have a feeling. At first I was angry. I got to admit, I was angry because I was like, no, I wanted to see Cody finish the story and win the title for his dad. It would have been such a feel-good story, and I think it's still going to happen, you know. But when they brought in The Rock, it was just like, now, I don't have anything against The Rock, but, you know, if I had a choice to see The Rock versus Roman or Cody finishing the story, the background story and everything, it would just, to me, it was a no-brainer. But I understand why people would want to see The Rock versus Roman. Rock is a high-profile individual. You know, movie star, wrestling legend, all that stuff. And yes, I would have to agree that it would be a bigger match, you know, money-wise probably. But I still wanted to see Cody. I wanted that feel-good moment where Cody wins it for his dad, because his dad was very, very important to the business of pro wrestling. You know, and I love Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, live and in living color, baby. I love the Dream. You know, I didn't get to see him till late in the 70s, early 80s, but I came to appreciate him so much, So that's what I think's happening, Rob. I think Cody's gonna get his match with Roman, and I think he's gonna get that belt. It doesn't make sense to do it any other way. It doesn't make sense. I think they saw that the WWE Universe was not happy. It was about 60-40 in favor of Cody getting his match versus The Rock getting his match. Did a tremendous job, the WWE did the other day with their press event on Thursday. If you saw that, if you didn't get a chance to go watch it, it's on YouTube. The press event on Thursday. Tremendous stuff. It was great old school booking. It was great. Made you believe that it was real. And when wrestling can do that for me nowadays, man, I'm over the moon, because nowadays everybody knows. Everybody knows. Back in the day, there was always that mysterious, is it real? Is it fake? What is it? Is it what? You don't know. Now everybody knows, thanks to McMahon and his steroid trial and all that stuff in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s. So that's out of the window. But I still miss the believability factor. There's still quite a few people who can portray it, like Eddie Kingston for AEW. Every time he talks, does a promo, I believe everything he's saying, because he just seems like it's so natural. But Thursday, when WWE did the press thing, it was pretty cool. And like I said, it made you believe that, this is these people really are angry about things and stuff like that. So definitely check it out. Mike Taylor says hello to Rob. ERIK K says Tim Woods was Mr. Wrestling. Johnny Walker was Mr. Wrestling too. There you go. I know Tim Woods was under the hood. I know he was wearing a mask as Mr. Wrestling at one point. Johnny Walker, I'm trying to remember there's something about his name that's sticking in my head, and I can't figure out what it means. But very cool. Terry Funk says ERIK K. Terry Funk was one of the best. Easy. A true legend. Yeah. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Just if you ever saw he did this old school back in the day promo from, I think it was championship wrestling from Florida. I think it was. He was down there, and he's like, he took like this can of motor oil and dumped it over his head and stuff, and he's going on and on. It was just craziness, Oh man. He was a legend without a doubt. He is a legend. Rob Brown says hi to Michael. Easy Comic Reader says 10-4, Eric. Fist bump. Michael Taylor says one of the greatest wrestling covers I saw, I think, Tony Atlas lifting Hulk Hogan over his head. Yeah. Tony Atlas, man. He was a big dude back in the day. He's still a big dude. Holy mackerel. I can see that. Jackson Roykirk says there's a mention of the Superdome, probably only 5 or 6 years old at that point. Oh, really? Oh, very cool. Yes, sir. Yeah. Love it. ERIK K says, I was living in Florida, loving CWF during the last Tango in Tampa. Oh, cool. Man, I got so much of the championship wrestling from Florida on tape. From about, I would want to say like somewhere around 84, 85 maybe. It was prior to Lex Luger coming in, because I got the whole thing with Lex Luger when he joined in. I just remember one of the things that stands out for championship wrestling from Florida, Kevin Sullivan. He was always a perennial bad guy, and he did the whole devil gimmick or whatever, devil worshiping gimmick type of thing, Abu Dean and all that stuff. And Luna Vachon was doing a bit part where she was giving Kendall Windham, I think, an award. It might have been Barry Windham award, but I think she was giving it to Kendall Windham. And basically, while she was out there doing that, Kevin Sullivan came out and attacked. And she tried to attack Kevin, And Kevin turned around. I'm telling you, he open hand slapped her. And that is the hardest slap I've ever seen in pro wrestling. I mean, he whacked her. It hurt me. That's how hard he hit her. I mean, now Luna was tough. Make no mistake about it. Luna was a tough lady. And man, she took that. That was as stiff a shot as you're gonna get right there. Oh, if you ever get that, I don't know if it's on YouTube. It probably is somewhere, but that was just, oh man, that always stands out to me when I think. That's the first thing I think of when I think of championship wrestling from Florida. I think Kevin Sullivan turning around and cuffing her right side. I mean, flush. It wasn't like paintbrush, little got the fingers, so they give. Oh no, he got palm, everything right upside her. Oh, she got all, she gained a ton. I mean, I already respected her, but she gained a ton more respect for taking that shot, man. She took that shot and she didn't cower. She took it, Oh, man. Easy Comic Reader says, I just read an issue of The Flaming Carrot, and on the back cover was a picture of Mr. Wrestling number 27. He's laughing, and Easy's laughing too. Erik's laughing at Easy too. Oh, that's awesome. Easy Comic Reader says, awesome mags, Erik. Yeah, thumbs up. Yeah, they are incredible. They are incredible. If you're a wrestling fan from back in the day and you remember those, they call them the After mags now, but that was prior to After, I think, owning them maybe. Victory Sports. So they were just, that's how you got your wrestling news. That's how you got your wrestling news. No internet. So great stuff. ERIK K says, thanks, Easy. Michael Taylor says, another great childhood AOK to you, Doc. Yeah, unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. I've been so blessed with this tremendous community. Folks like Erik and Dr. Von Chiller and Shannon and Lead Paint, everybody. I mean, I'm sure I'm missing people, I know, and I apologize for that. It's just I just get a little overwhelmed sometimes, I because it means so much to me that folks would do that, I mean, there's so much you hear bad with the world nowadays and everything like that, and when you have a community of people like this, I mean, it's just tremendous, it really is. I don't know what else to say, ERIK K says, Rod, that was near mint. That wasn't. I'm not sure what that last one word is supposed to be, Erik. I'm sure you probably wound up changing it, but it was near mint. That was near mint. Paulo Costa. Hey, Paulo, how you doing, sir? He spells out wrestling. There you go, baby. Wrestling. Gotta love it. Thank you for joining us, Paulo. Jackson Roykirk says, wonderful AOK. Yes, it was. Absolutely. I don't have the words. All I can do is say thank you so much, Erik. It's wonderful. That is so wonderful. ERIK K says, the one with Bruno and Superstar was not the title change, though. Oh, yeah. Okay. 77. You're right. You are right. Wasn't that in Baltimore? Didn't it happen in Baltimore? For some reason, Baltimore stuck in my head for that title change. I could be wrong. Won't be the first time, won't be the last. Thank you for that. He says, you are very welcome, Rod. I'm glad you liked. Oh, man, I don't like them. I love them. That's man. Because wrestling and comics, man, aside from family and friends, wrestling and comics means the world to me. That's, it's been a part of my life in one way, shape, or form. I've been watching wrestling since 72. I mean, watching it, not I missed it for a couple of years. I got away. No, not this guy. I've been watching it straight since 72. I've been watching. So, and not only watching, but I've been reading a lot of autobiography books. Used to get David Meltzer's Wrestling Observer newsletter in the 80s throughout the 90s. So I got a lot of those. So I was learning the business inside as well as what you saw on TV. It was part of me. It's just something I truly enjoy. Same with comics. It's just something I for some reason, it clicked with me, and it's just something I truly to enjoy. It makes it sound still kind of trivial. I don't know what word I can replace enjoy with. I love it. And it becomes almost like ingrained part of your, I don't want to say part of your personality, because it's not like I walk around doing a promo, because I'm a wrestling fan, but it's just something that I really, really am entertained by, both comics and wrestling. So, Tex the Collector. Hey, Tex, great to have you with us, sir. He says, what's up? He says, nothing much. Just did a little unboxing of a wonderful AOK from ERIK K. He gave me 4 of his personal wrestling magazines from the 70s, which is awesome because he knows I'm a wrestling nut, a wrestling fan. And I have a wrestling magazine collection myself. And those books are going to find their home now to be in amongst that collection of wrestling magazines. And I can't thank ERIK enough. So that brings you up to date. Now we're just talking wrestling and seeing what's going on with the Peanut Gallery here. So thanks for hanging out with us. Appreciate it, Tex. And Michael Taylor says, another fantastic off the rack. AOK to you, Doc. Yes. I mean, it means the world. It does. That because it's so personal. You know what I mean? It just makes it so much more personal rather than it's not just hey, I just picked this up today and sending it to you. And that's very nice too. I don't want to downplay that. That's very nice gesture. But for somebody who has bought something, had it all their life since it was on the rack, man, that meant something to them. And in turn, it means something to me. So very cool. Jackson Rourke says, hello, Tex. Tex the Collector. He says, that comic rack is awesome. Oh, man, I wanted one for so long. It was not something I ever really thought of. And then I got onto YouTube and I started seeing people having them. And I'm like, oh, how did you get that? Where was I when that was available? I found this one at an indoor flea market. I went there. I saw it. It was shortly after that I had to go in for open heart surgery. And I just thought I couldn't pull the trigger on it money wise at that time. My wife was all for it. She said, yeah, well, if you want. But I couldn't do it. I just couldn't justify the money for it. Went in, had my open heart surgery. And then it was like 6 or 8 months later, I think it was. I think it was 6 months later. Might have been 8. Excuse me. Went back there. And I go, I wonder if the thing's still here. She goes, well, are you going to get it? I says, if it's still here after 6 or 8 months, whatever the time was, and no comic guy has come in and scarfed that thing up, then it was meant for me to have. That's the way I looked at it. Sure enough, I went through. There it was. It was still there. And I was just like, okay, that's a omen. That's omen, So I think the good Lord blessed me with that. So yes, I love this. Every time I look at it, I am back in the Stop and Go store. Where's my Charms my Charms Pops? Not the blow pops because they come out later, but the actual early Charms sweet and sour lollipops. That's what I used to get while I was looking at the rack. Picking up 100-page super spectaculars of Brave and the Bold, with Batman and the Atom or Batman and Mr. Miracle, or the Justice League ones where they were fighting Libra, and all the other bad guys. Oh, just incredible memories, man. That's what it holds for me. Memories. Thank you for that, Tex. Appreciate that. Tex says, hey, Jackson. And Mike Taylor says, I liked Mytor as well. I loved the voices that they did on those because to me, they were superhero voices. They were strong, deep, superhero voices, Space Ghost, Gary Owens, incredible, the guy who used to voice Reed Richards, Paul Reed. No, I can't think of his name now. Doggone it. Paul something. He had a great voice as well. So yeah, I love Mytor. Easy Comic Reader says, hey Tex, fist bump. Tex says, Easy Comic Reader, what's going on? Paul S says, I like the one with Herbie the Robot too, but it wasn't as good. Yeah. Man. Yeah, it was good because you got to see the Fantastic Four, and I like the Thing. He's probably my favorite member of the Fantastic Four, but it wasn't the same without the Human Torch. And of course, everybody's heard the urban myth that they didn't want to have the Human Torch on there because they were afraid kids were going to set themselves on fire. That type of thing. I don't believe that. But yeah, I would. Although I did buy a. Oh, I don't know where it is. Invisible Woman action figure because it did have the Herbie the Robot figure in it as well. So I did have to buy that. So yeah, that was just too unique to pass up. Eric Breen says, oh look, the Bears just scored again. Oh, Eric. Et tu, Eric? Oh man. And I got nothing to come back on him with. The Sox got beat by his Cincinnati Reds, so I got nothing. Splash Page Comics, hey, great to have you with us, sir. He says, hello, YouTubians. Thank you for spending your Sunday afternoon. Oh, let's see, I was on autopilot there for Saturday. No, Sunday afternoon. Thank you for spending some of your Sunday afternoon with us. Mike Taylor says, ERIK K, it's amazing that you can gift off your off-the-rack stuff. I give you a lot of credit. It's that's why yeah. Just think how tough it would be for you to give up something from your collection that you bought off the rack. It's just that's why I say it's so much more than just a regular AOK type of thing. It has a different level of relevance. Relevant? No, not relevance. Revered. I don't know what I'm talking about sometimes. I just don't. ERIK K says, thanks, Michael. The first one I purchased as a back issue. I don't collect wrestling magazines anymore, narrowing down my collecting interests. Yeah, that's something I ought to think about doing because there's just way too many rabbit holes for me. There's comics, obviously. There's action figures. There's just regular toys like, vintage board games and stuff like that I pick up and stuff like that. TV guides, vintage TV guides from 1962 to 1980, 85. I might go up to 85. I collect vintage, but they have to be New England version. The versions that I would have gotten because this is where I've lived all my life. So I want the exact copies of what I would have picked up and read. And I used to read the TV guide every week, cover to cover. I see what movies were going to be on, what new TV shows were going to be on, where the cartoons were. Where are my cartoons? What are the ones I'm going to watch? Where are they? And anything like that. Yeah. Oh, man. VHS, old cartoon tapes, old wrestling tapes, wrestling magazines, there's just so many many rabbit holes. I really need to pare down my collecting. I don't see that happening, though, anytime soon. Dr. Monchilla, hey, John. Great to have you with us, sir. He says, howdy, y'all. Feeling 100% better today? Well, that's good news. Great to hear that, sir. Awesome, awesome. See, we told you. We told you Pauline was going to get you better. And she did, too, didn't she? She made you feel better. That's awesome, John. Great to hear it. Splash Comic says hello to Dr. Vonchilla, as does Jackson Roykirk. He says, hey, Dr. V, glad to hear that. Absolutely. Easy Comic Reader says, good to hear, Dr. Vonchilla. Fist bump. There you go. Tempest from Mars, look at the trouble I've caused. It's all in good fun, Tempest. All in good fun. So I'm just going to cry off screen now. Texas Collector, he says, you got to sell them comics to me before that earthquake hits. Oh, man. I don't know what was going on. All of a sudden, just I had a couple of stacks here, and they all just started slowly sliding down. It's just like, hey, easy now. Easy. Dr. Vonchilla says, indeed. Seems my fever and delirium were merely a 24-hour bug. Thank goodness. There we go. There we go. ERIK K says Harley Race won the NWA title over Funk. There we go. Okay, so I wasn't too far off. Harley Race was involved with Funk in Toronto. Okay, that's what. Cool beans. Sometimes I just wonder, the stuff just pops out before I have a chance to really think about, is that right? That yeah. And that was a classic match too, by the way. If anybody has a chance, I'm sure it's on YouTube. I think I've seen it on YouTube before. So yes, sir. ERIK K says, glad you are feeling better, Dr. Vonchilla. Yes, sirree. Splash Page Comics says, just love to hear you talk about the old times, bring back memory from my childhood in the 70s. Let's chat sometime. Hey, absolutely. You know, I just love, I mean, that's when I grew up. I was born in 1962. So from about 1967, that's when I start really remembering my childhood. You know, from 62, I graduated in 80. So from the last half of the Silver Age through the Bronze Age, baby, that's my childhood. That's my childhood. And it was just so much, man. I look now with the benefit of hindsight over the years, living through decades, you know, and I'm sure all of you who are my age or so can relate to this too, that, man, it really was a great time to be a kid. It really was, the 60s and 70s. I imagine I probably would have loved being a kid in the 50s as well, you know, but boy, the 60s and 70s, the comics, the TV shows, the cartoons, I mean, the candy. Don't talk about candy too much, but man, we had a little neighborhood store that was literally maybe a 5-minute walk down the road from where I lived. Terrian's Market. It wasn't supermarket because it was very small. And we used to go there and get Humpty Dumpty barbecued potato chips. That was a must. Barbecued potato chips weren't mesquite flavored, none of that sweet barbecue flavor. This was very savory, really, really good. And then get like an ice cream sandwich, you know, get an ice cream sandwich or a popsicle, and then get some kind. I liked Reese's peanut butter cups. That was my big go-to. But I used to like to get remember what do they call it? Rock candy. Rock candy used to be on a string, you know, inside of a square box. I used to love rock candy, man. That was awesome. And of course, I mentioned the Charms Pops. When they came out, that just blew my world apart. Sweet and sour in a lollipop. Ho, boom. I loved it, you know. Oh man, so much fun. All that, just so much fun to be a kid. I I wish I could go back in time just for one day. Just for one day, I'd go back in time to like maybe 1968, you know, and just visit some of these places that I used to love to go to: the snack bar, the stop and go convenience store, Flynn's supermarket, Flynn's market, go to there was another local store, Giroux's Market, downtown Rollinsford, you know, and just the Rexall drugstore. Go back to the Rexall drugstore. Just the smell. There was such a smell in Rexall drugstore that I equated it with comics. And every once in a while, I'd go into like an old general store. I mean, a real old-fashioned traditional general store that'd been around for decades, and I would catch that same smell. It's like a combination of perfume, cigar smoke, and smell of old wood, you know, and it's just perfectly mixed. And when it's like slaps me right in the face, like, oh, remember that? Yes, I do. And I wish I could go back in time. I'd go there, and one other place I would go would be Ned's Fish Market. Why would I go to a fish market, you say? Because while it was called Ned's Fish Market, it was a takeout fried food place. It was strictly takeout. Little hole in the wall place. Had the best French fries ever. Crinkle cut, thick. He would load up the white, like the red and white containers. He would load it up, put it in a paper bag, right? Load it up, and then whatever was left from the batch that he just made for you, he would scoop them up and dump those in there, so you got extra. Oh man, best French fries I've ever had. I still look for them. All right, there we go. Get me talking about old times, man. I'm lost. Michael Taylor says, hello, TTC. Dr. Vonchilla says, thanks for the good wishes, y'all. They are sincerely appreciated, and they are truly meant. We're so glad that you're feeling better, sir. We don't like to hear it when anybody's feeling bad, because I've felt bad myself way too long here, you know, especially the last 5 years. But I appreciate times like this and days like this when we can get together, man. It means the world to me. Just hang out. Michael Taylor says, hello, Dr. Vonchilla. And Michael also says, hello to Splash Page Comics. He says, Dr. Vonchilla, are you feeling better? Yes, he says he is. Rob Brown says, The Rock just needs to stay out of it. They need to let him make movies. Just my opinion. I remember Dusty Rhodes very well. Hope the best for his son. Yeah, I really sincerely believe that they're going to do the story, finish the story for Cody. They're going to finish the story, and I can't wait, because that is I'll be bawling like a baby. I guarantee you. If he wins, and he wins the title, and he's holding that up, and he's going to do some kind of a thing for his dad. See, I'm getting misty-eyed just thinking about it, man. So yeah, I doubt there'd be a dry eye in the house, and certainly it'd bring a tear to a glass eye. If you don't shed a tear, you're not human. Dr. Vonchilla says, for Rodney, the deadhead, regarding his memory, all the years combined, they melt into a dream. Jerry Garcia. You know what? I got to be honest. I don't think I've ever consciously listened to the Deadheads there, the Grateful Dead. They were not on my musical radar at all. When I was a kid or growing up or anything like that. And a lot of people think I like tie-dye because of that. And it's funny when they learn the truth, it kind of deflates them. And I was talking about it earlier. They kind of look at me like disappointed, like, what? Really? You wear it because a wrestler used to wear it? But yes, not just any wrestler. Superstar Billy Graham. The man of the hour, the man with the power, too sweet to be sour. Easy Comic Reader says wrestling is fake. Wrestling was real. There you go. There you go. That's right. Right there, that's the difference between wrestling in the Northeast and wrestling everywhere else in the country back in the day. Because up here, it was, 10-minute matches on TV. Good guy versus a technic, what they call a jabroni, a guy who's basically there to lose. Whereas when I saw stuff from the NWA and stuff from all around the country, it seemed like more of a real athletic competition than up here in the North. So I go along with that, absolutely easy. Dr. Von Chilla says, howdy, Michael. I am indeed feeling better. I'm ready to go out partying and maybe just stay up until 8, cleaning the kitchen and the bathroom. Laughing out loud. Oh, man. Are you going to stay up and watch the Super Bowl at all, Dr. Von Chilla? Just curious. Paula Costa says, let Pauline do the cleaning, John. Dr. Von Chilla says, Ken Patera lives. Ken Patera, the Olympic strongman. Yes, sir, with the swinging neck breaker. Supposedly broke the neck of Billy White Wolf, the tag team partner and close friend or brother, I can't remember, of Chief J Strongbow back in the day. See, I just get going. See, Ken Patera triggers off my wrestling Rolodex, and I just run through it. So, Ken Patera, yes, sir. But the lesson that Ken Patera never learned was, hey, when a McDonald's is closed, don't throw a cinder block through it because you wind up going to jail. So, I'm sure everybody remembers that story. Ken Patera and Mr. Saito. Yeah, spend a little time in the hokey. Jackson Roykirk says, 8 p.m. You're an animal, Dr. V. Jackson Roykirk says, yeah, an animal, yeah. Michael Taylor says, Dr. Von Chilla, glad to hear that too. Dr. Von Chilla says, Paulo, I wish I could teach her to clean, to have her earn her keep. There you go. Awesome. Paulo Costa says 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is 1 a.m. for me. Why do you guys want to go to bed at the same time I do? I know, man. Paulo, you put in some hours on here. I'll tell you that, brother. I mean, I know I've seen you up and you're going to bed at like what, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. I could do that when I was younger. I can't do it much nowadays. Very once in a while I'll stay up till those hours of the morning, but not as often as I used to, man. Jackson Roykirk says, you'll find out one day, Paulo. Uh-oh. Ominous. Dun, dun, dun. Dr. Von Chilla says, yeah, Jackson, my shower scrubbing skills will make your head spin. Maybe even beyond 9 p.m. I rock, he says. Oh, man. Michael Taylor says, Dr. Von Chilla, if I had a choice, be sick or clean the kitchen, I'd choose clean the kitchen. Michael Taylor says, yeah, where's Shannon? Oh, I'm not sure. He's probably hanging out with the family, I believe. He's spending some time with the family. ERIK K says it was Kendall Windham getting some type of award from Luna. Also, you remember it. Who was using a different name at the time, working for some supposed magazine. You're right. You are right, I think. Later, woman shaves half of Luna's head off. Yep. So you know the slap of which I'm talking, man. He slapped her, and that that's got to be the stiffest slap ever in pro wrestling, right there. Woo. Paulo Costa says, you mean, Jackson, when I get to be your age, I'll go to bed at 1:30 midnight instead of 1 a.m. Jackson says, he's laughing. He says, hopefully. There you go. Dr. Von Chilla, I miss Erik's AOK. I'll check it on the rewind, but good on you, Erik. Dr. Von Chilla declares that you are officially the man. Bless you, buddy. He says, absolutely. I echo the thoughts and sentiments of that comment right there. Absolutely, Dr. Vanchilla. He gave me, he sent me 4 wrestling magazines from his wrestling magazine collection. And they were ones that I remember, and I'm so honored and thrilled and humbled to have them in my collection now. Awesome, man. Michael Taylor says, "Where's Maranya?" Oh, I do not. Well, she's probably hanging out with her family, probably, or either that, or she might be on one of the YouTube other live streams if there's one. She's another one that puts in a lot of time, man. She is everywhere. Her and Eric Breen. I don't know how you guys can do it. I would not have the stamina to do that. Be on as many shows and stuff as you guys are. That's awesome, though. ERIK K says, yes, WWF title change happened in Baltimore. There we go. There was a mistake. I hit enter too fast. Okay. All righty. Thank you. Because I was wondering, I'm like, is that some kind of a word or acronym that I don't know? Oh, you know. Paulo Costa says, Maranya is probably eating shrimp and grits while watching your hand egg championship finals. Oh, man. Oh, unless the puppets kidnapped her to read an old Spider-Man comic. That's very true. Although I don't think there's any readings today because of the Super Bowl. So, but they could have done one in the afternoon. You're absolutely right. I didn't check all the way around to see. Hopefully, I'm not cutting into somebody else's time. So, ERIK K says, thank you, John. And Jackson Roykirk says, L, hand egg. That's it. That's what football's, hand egg. Oh, man. Rob Brown says, I lost a dear friend that loved wrestling as much as you, Rod. We lost him to cover. Miss him terribly. Sorry about that. And so sorry to hear that. Yeah, we lost a lot of people to COVID, and I mean, guys that I worked with and stuff that were much younger than me. There was one fellow that I used to work with him at the cable company way back when he first started, and we lost him as a result of COVID, and it's just sad, man. So I hear you. Yeah, I gotcha. ERIK K says, sorry to hear that, Rod. Oh, thank you, sir. Rob, yeah. Yep. Whoops. Mike Taylor says, Rob, sorry to hear that. Yeah, I had that darn COVID 3 times. Yeah, I think we've had it twice, I think. Me and the missus have had it twice. I got to admit, it wasn't that, both times it was not that bad for me. But there were different strains and whatnot. And if you get one that affects the upper respiratory and stuff like that, that would be very dangerous for me, as it would be for everybody, But and that's what happened is a lot of people would get that. They'd think it's just a cold and just, take normal cold remedies for it. And until, you get pneumonia. And, man, pneumonia is nothing to fool around with, man. I've had fluid in my lungs. My lungs have been half filled before, along with my heart. Have been half filled before with fluid. And the doctor came in and saw me there and said to me, why is he not on a respirator? And I said, no respirator for me. I could still breathe. I was lucky, but unbelievable. So, yeah, it was very, very sad. Very sad to anybody who's lost anybody to that doggone COVID stuff. So, my heart goes out to you. Rob Brown says, thanks, guys. Thank you, Rob. Dr. Von Chilla says, I feel your pain, Rob. My 2 best friends are now gone. We were the 3 amigos for decades. I'm the last one standing. Best wishes to you, bud, he says. Michael Taylor says, yeah, if I had a time machine, one of the things I'd bring back is my childhood spinner rack. Absolutely, absolutely. I'm telling you, every time I look at that thing and it says comics merry-go-round. That's just what it said. That I mean, this could be, the one that came out of there, because that's what they had. Wholesome comics. What's it say? Entertaining. Yeah, you know, that was what the one my spinner rack from Stop and Go said. So I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better uh, a better one to have. I mean, it's just brings me back, man. Puts a smile on your face. Ajax won't take off. Jackson Roykirk says, I had an invisible girl figure. She thought I grabbed her inappropriately, turned invisible, and I haven't seen her since. Oh no. No, 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 no. Jackson, what are you doing, brother? Oh man. Too funny. Dr. Von Chilla says, Jackson, you dodged a bullet there, bud. Perhaps I did, he says. Rob Brown says, the 70s were indeed magical to a kid, but I still have polyester nightmares. You know what mine was? Wasn't polyester. It was corduroy. I had corduroy nightmares. I had big thighs, so I could start fires if I was running in corduroys. I'm telling you, not fun. Ooh, I tell you. Jackson Roykirk says, laughing polyester nightmares. Absolutely. Oh, so true, Rob, says Eric. The 70s toys were the best, man. Oh, I'll add to that the last half of the 60s and the 70s, because I Captain Action. I loved Captain Action. G.I. Joe right through the 60s and 70s. Loved them. The robot, the Lost in Space robot. Oh, that was a cool toy. Zeroids. Remember Zeroids? Oh, they were cool. Oh, just great toys. Eric Breen says, 6-year-old me got to go to Crossley Field. That's awesome. 6 years old. Did you? What do you remember about it? What do you remember about going there? What stuck out the most to you? What grabbed you and stuck in your 6-year-old memory? Rob Brown says, I still get fond memories of my childhood when I see a windsock. Okay. All right. Well, the big ones, they still place in front of stores. Awesome. But there's an old country store in a town about 20 minutes from here called Calif's Country Store. You can look it up online. Calif's, CALEF apostrophe S, in Barrington, New Hampshire. And there's right beside it is they have like a gift store, and all on that front lawn are windsocks, and hanging from the porch are windsocks. I mean, every kind of windsock imaginable, I think. So when I think of windsocks, that's what I think of, man. ERIK K says, that's cool, Eric. So many classic ballparks are gone. I know. I love Fenway Park. I really do. When you get to know Fenway Park and all the things like the seat out in the bleachers there, where it's supposed to be the longest home run ever hit and stuff like that. When you get to appreciate the history and what has happened in those ballparks, hey, this is the ballpark where Ted Williams played, Carl Yastrzemski, for me, Carlton Fisk, Rick Burleson. Rick Burleson was my man, the shortstop throughout the middle 70s for the Patriots, for the Red Sox, Dwight Evans, the one of the greatest arms ever, throw people out from right field. Oh, we used to imitate him up at the ballpark. We'd have somebody hit the ball, and then we would try and throw it as best we could so that the guy catching the ball right there at home plate he'd get the guy out, the ghost runner out, Just fun things like that. It makes you appreciate those classic ballparks that are gone and the ones that we still have. So absolutely. Rob Brown says, I get a chuckle every time, he says. Dr. Monchilla says, remember those coconut-coated black and white pink chewy candies? Yes. Yes, I love those things, he says. In fact, I think the store I just mentioned, K-Lifts, I believe they still sell those. There's like chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. And it's like a little square. It's like a little square, flat like that. I believe they still sell them. Oh, that's wild. That's great. ERIK K says, I did go to Old Comiskey Park and saw one of Thurman Munson's last games before he was killed in a plane crash. Oh, I felt used to Thurman Munson, who used to hate Thurman Munson. Because we had Carlton Fisk and Red Sox, Yankees. Oh, boom, boom, boom. I can't count the brawls we've had. But when that happened, totally changed. You just feel bad. That's very sad. He was a tremendous, tremendous ball player. You couldn't deny that. Whether you were a Red Sox fan or a Yankees fan, you couldn't deny his talent, man. He was a great, great catcher, great ball player. So Jackson Roykirk says, we had a huge neighborhood family-owned drugstore that had the most unique and amazing smell I've never found since. Isn't that awesome, man? Those things that stay with you, and if you get a chance to catch a whiff of that somewhere else, I'm sure it does the same thing to you as it would have done for me. Whack, knocks you right back to those days when you'd go to that drugstore and pick up a comic book, pick up a piece of candy, penny candy. Oh man, I love that. I just wish there were more stores like that still around, but I mean, there's really not a whole lot of independent department stores anymore, or they got the drugstores, but they're all kind of cookie cutter. You know what I mean? And it's not the same. They don't have the same identity. They don't have the same character, the same magical, whatever it is, that would stick with you, and you want to go back there. Those places that do still have those stores, man, I envy those people that live there. I really do, because so many of the stores that there's very few that are still around. So many of the stores that I used to love and frequent as a kid and growing up into adulthood, they're no longer here, and they ain't ever coming back. And it's just, it's sad. It really does. It makes me feel very melancholy, because they provided me with such great memories, and you don't know what you have till it's gone. Just like this song, you don't know what you have till it's gone. Because we used to go to these stores all the time, and you took them for granted. They were always going to be there. This is just the way life is here. We're going to have that store. We're going to have the drugstore. We're going to have this store, and they're always going to be here. And then slowly, one by one, as you grow up, oh man, that store closed. Oh, wonder what happened. Oh, and then you go on, and then another store closed, and then another one. And then you get to be 62 years old almost, and realize, man, I miss those places. I really, really miss those places. Splash Page Comics says, hello, Michael Taylor. Stepped away for a minute, he says. Rob Brown. Oh, and the fairs from the 70s, the plethora of smells. My goodness. Oh, man, that's a whole different place to go. We still go to a fair. It's in Deerfield, New Hampshire. They only have it for 4 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I've been going there since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. When I was old enough to drive, I drove myself to the fair. I went to the fair. I was going to Deerfield Fair. So many. That's one of the things that, yes, there have been changes to the fair, but it's one of the things that is still there. and I look forward to that. It's one of the big highlights of our year is when we get to go to the Deerfield Fair, you know. Deerfield, New Hampshire, man. Oh, get some John's Golden French fries. Yeah, John's Golden French fries. Get some pizza from Andrea's Pizza. Oh, and I don't eat them because I don't eat meat, not for any special reason. I just don't like the taste of it. That's all. But I love the smell of pepper steaks cooking along with onions and peppers cooking on a grill, at the fair. Pepper steak. Oh, I could stand there and smell that all day. And if I thought it tasted the same way as it smelled, then I would probably try it. But I can't do it. I have texture issues with meat and taste issues with meat, so I can't do it. But oh man, Rob, that's a whole nother thing, brother. There used to be so many fairs around. We used to have one in Rochester that was about 20 minutes away, and we used to go there. And they had a guy called the Candy Man, and you go up, you take a dart, and you throw it at this board that was like a grid full of numbers, and whatever number you got on there, he had a corresponding bunch of chocolates and stuff like that, all put together like a little basket or something like that, and you would win that. You'd pay, I don't know, $5 or something like that, and throw a dart, and whatever you got, and you always got more than your $5 worth. But just little things like that, little things that stick with you like that you remember, and that you really, really miss. Really do. Jackson Roykirk says they had a magazine rack just inside the store where I saw, but never got, the Planet of the Apes, Deadly Hands of Kung Fu, and Savage Sword of Conan magazines. Oh, yeah. When you discovered those magazines, it was like a whole different world, When I first saw them, I really got to see them. Very rarely we'd go into a store that would have those magazines. I remember seeing Monster Times, the Monster Times, the newspaper thing. Oh, I remember seeing that, and it just blew me away, and was able to buy one. But all those magazines were so cool, and I didn't get a lot of them. I certainly didn't get any of the Planet of the Apes or Deadly Hands of Kung Fu or Conan ones. But I would get some of the monster ones like ERIK or something like that once in a while. So that was, man, that's cool though. It makes you wonder what else was in that rack. Oh yeah. Mike Taylor says there's a picture of me around early to mid 70s of me showing the Aurora mummy model to a friend in front of my childhood home. That picture may still be in the family. Oh, very cool. I wished I'd have gotten pictures of my toys. I really do. I've got a couple of early Christmas photos that my parents had taken, which you saw probably in the opening to this, me and my brother. So that's very cool. I wish that I had, because we had, oh man, just had a great childhood. I mean, I can't say it enough. I just had a great childhood. I got no complaints, man. No complaints at all. Dr. Von Chilla, Eric, I remember vividly when Thurman Munson passed. Yeah, it was very, very sad, very shocking. I remember hearing that. And it's like, oh man. And it, right from that moment, it changed the way I looked at Thurman Munson, because I no longer looked at him as, the enemy from the evil empire or whatever, you know what I mean? It was at that point that he came to appreciate him as a ball player and his skills and what he meant to the game. Because we knew he was good, but we didn't want to admit it. Us Red Sox fans, we knew he was good, but we didn't want to admit it. When that happened, nobody was afraid to admit it anymore. ERIK K says, so do I, John. I was in Chicago and both newspapers had coverage of his death on the front page. Yeah. It was Very tragic. ERIK K says he was the pilot in the plane. He had 2 friends with him. He was more concerned about them when they crashed. Sad, Thurman could not get out of the plane. It's very, very tragic. Very sad. Absolutely. Then the plane caught fire. Oh, my gosh. Dr. Von Chilla says, Michael, I remember a friend broke the news about Munson to me on the street the day it happened. Yeah, I remember. If I remember correctly, we were playing ball out in the backyard when one of the neighborhood kids came and said, did you hear about Munson? And no. And we're like, what? What did he do now? Did he start a fight, with somebody? That's what we were thinking, And then he said, no, he died. And it was just like, whoa, wasn't expecting that, So very, very sad, very tragic. He was a true legend. ERIK K says, Billy White Wolf later came back as Sheik Adnan El Casey. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And I thought that was so funny because I recognized him saying, that's Billy White Wolf. What is going on? He was doing an American Indian gimmick, and now he's doing a Sheik gimmick. It's like, go on. Yeah, absolutely, Eric. You are correct, sir. Mike Taylor says, I remember a lot of these wrestling names people are throwing out. Yeah. It's just, if you were a wrestling fan at any time back in there, I'm sure you'll recognize a lot of these names. Absolutely. David Asano, it's great to have you with us, Dave. Thank you for spending some of your Sunday afternoon with us. He says it's pronounced wrestling. That's right, brother. Wrestling. Michael Taylor says, hello, Dave. Dr. Montilla says, I haven't watched the Super Bowl in at least 30 years, so I wasn't kidding about spending the hour before bedtime scrubbing the shower. Oh, okay. Oh, man. ERIK K says, I am not watching it either, John. Just not a fan of the NFL anymore and have not been for a while. I can understand that. I know some people, some friends who are of the same mind. I'm not really big on this Super Bowl. The only time I really get excited about the Super Bowl is if, obviously, I have a dog in the fight, and the last time was when Tom Brady took the Buccaneers, and they went to the Super Bowl and won it because my son and I had a thing going. I jumped ship from the Patriots to the Buccaneers for that season. I rooted for the Buccaneers if they played the Patriots. I was rooting for the Buccaneers because I just felt Tom Brady did not get a fair shake. I didn't think they treated him right. And I could be totally wrong and washed up on that, but me personally, being a longtime Patriots fan, and to see what happened when Tom Brady took over the quarterback position from Drew Bledsoe when Bledsoe got hurt, and it was like somebody flipped a switch on the Patriots, and they just went from, no more are we going to be a punching bag, we're going to be a powerhouse. And I give credit to Belichick. I give credit to all the other players on the team. But I do think Tom Brady was a key factor in that happening. And I wanted him just to make a statement, that I'm not through yet. When he went with the Buccaneers and they went, so I stayed with him all season, and I was crying like a baby when he won. When they won, because he didn't do it by himself. He had the team with him. But I was just so happy that they won the Super Bowl, man. I'm gonna get it's here, man. What is it? I'm gonna hand in my man card here because I'm getting weepy on everything here. Holy mackerel. Rob Brown says, I feel you, Rod. Laughing out loud. Starting fires when running. There you go. Absolutely. Corduroy was not my friend, man. I hated corduroy. But jeans weren't cool back then. You know, I remember my mom, no, you're not wearing jeans. You're going to wear polyester or corduroy. Yep. So I hear you, Rob. Michael Taylor says, I had a lot of the great toys of the 70s. I was born in 66, so just missed out on the great toys of the 60s, but wasn't cheated out on the stuff of the 70s. There you go. There you go. Don't you wish you still had them, man? Don't you wish you still had them? Oh. Dr. Von says, I was heartbroken when they tore down the Philadelphia Spectrum where Dr. J and the Sixers played. So many awesome memories there. Philadelphia Spectrum. And my memories of the Spectrum, aside from when the Celtics would play there, was USA Network used to show the WWF wrestling from Philadelphia Spectrum. So I used to catch that once a month on the USA Network. So that was pretty cool. Mike Tiller says Munson should be in the Hall, in my opinion. I did not know he wasn't in the Hall. He's not in the Hall of Fame? Really? I can't believe that. I would have thought he was in. I thought he was in. Unbelievable. ERIK K says, if Munson lived, he would have made it into the Hall of Fame. His career was just cut too short. Oh, okay. Would you have to have a certain amount of years in or something? Oh, man. They ought to make exceptions, though, for stuff like that because he would have had a longer career. You got to believe that, you know. So I think they should be able to make posthumous, you know, what is the word I'm looking for? I don't know. You know, they ought to make exceptions. There you go. That was what possible. You know, posthumous exceptions in the cases of people like him. I really believe that. Dr. Von Chilla says, indeed, the drugstores, People's Drugs, Rexall Drugs, yeah, and Derek Drugs. Can you imagine the word drugs being so prominent in any store's name now? That's very true. That's very true. It would probably seem very, very odd now that we've gone through all this over the years, this evolution of what a drugstore is or a pharmacy is now. You know, it's not just a pharmacy anymore. You know, a lot of times they're part of like a Walmart or something, you know. So absolutely. That's funny. ERIK K says the Baseball Hall of Fame is so watered down now. Now very good players get in. Irks me. The Hall of Fame is for the all-time greats. I've been there twice to the Hall of Fame. Love going there. I equally love the little town, you know, Coopersville, right? Yeah. I loved the little town, and the people there were so nice. We go in, there was a pizza shop there that I went in and frequented a couple of times. I know you guys will find that hard to believe that I'd be going someplace and eating pizza, you know, but, you know, they were super nice. I loved going into all the stores with all the different hats and uniforms and stuff like that. Because when I was a kid, I've told you before the last time, I think, you know, me and my brother, man, we were big into having the uniforms, the shirts, I mean, and having the plastic batting helmets. So when I go into those places, I'm still a kid. I go right back. I revert right back to being, you know, 9, 10 years old. And I want all the cool hats of the teams that I remember. You know, Montreal Expos. They were a team we never got to see, so they were like a mystery. But I loved their hat. You know, I loved their emblem, their shirt. I had a Montreal Expos shirt. You know, the Pirates with the pirate engineer hat. You know, all those things, man. Michael Taylor says, I think I mentioned that my childhood candy that had the spinner. I think I mentioned that my childhood candy must be candy store that had the spinner that I would bring back. Is still standing, but is now one of those Hallmark type stores. Oh, yes, you did mention that. Yeah. But is there anything recognizable in it? That, I mean, is there still a clock on the wall, up where they used to be when you were a kid and stuff? Was there anything in there that you could say, oh, I remember that from when I was a kid there? We used to have, mentioned it yesterday, about the IGA supermarket, and it's now a Demoulas supermarket. Well, where the old clock used to be, the clock is still there. That's like, when I see that, it's almost like I want to genuflect in front of it. You know what I mean? Because it means that much that, yeah, I remember this. And you are still there, Very cool. Very cool, Michael. Paulo Costa says, I have too many issues with meat. Tonight at dinner, the ribs were taunting me, so I had to punish them by eating them. Teach them a lesson. That's it. Yum, yum, yum. Jackson Roykirk says, you showed him who's boss, Paulo. Michael Taylor says, so many famous people died in plane crashes. Yeah. Yes. Sad but true. Sad but true. And I'm not all that fond of flying. So if I was flying, I'd want to sit in the back of the plane. Why? Have you ever heard of a plane backing into a mountain? No. No, you haven't. Just say. But yes, a lot of famous people have passed away. And of course, you think of Buddy Holly right off the bat. Richie Valens, Big Bopper. Those guys. Jim Croce was big for me. 6th grade, I remember hearing about it. I just loved Bad Leroy Brown. Thought it was a great song. I just loved that song as a kid. And ooh, he said a bad word in that song. Ooh, I remember all that as a kid. But it was just great. But yeah, it was so sad when I learned that because it's just like, oh man, I'm thinking in my head, I thought I'm never going to hear that song anymore because he's died, And then, of course, you realize, oh no, we're going to play it on the radio and stuff like that. But you missed what they could have done or would have done, So absolutely. Dr. Vanchilla says, Paulo, I haven't eaten since yesterday morning when I had a bowl of cream of tomato soup, and I won't eat until tomorrow morning. I'm a big proponent of fasting to reset the body. Works great. Awesome. You're the second person. Well, you're the first person, but I've heard somebody else, a friend of mine, say that as well, just recently. So it might be something. There must be something to that. Absolutely. Me, I can't find myself fasting. I just like to eat too much, I guess, and right now I can eat as much as I want and it won't stay on me. So we'll see. Mastodon Comics. Hey, Mastodon. Thank you for taking some time and spending with us here. Appreciate it. He says, hey, Rod, and hey, right at the back. Mike Taylor says, hello, Mastodon. Doc, it's 1-2 punch for you. First Brody leaves, now Belichick leaves. Brady leaves, and now Belichick leaves. Yeah. So, I don't know. I just got a feeling the Patriots are not going to be that good for the next few years. They may never return to where Belichick and Brady had them. That's the thing. But you know what? I'm okay with that because Belichick and Brady and the rest of those teams in the last 20 years gave me more than my share of great moments and championships. So I've got no complaints. It's time for somebody else to get a shot and get their glory. You know what I mean? So I'm cool with that. Same thing with the Red Sox. Forever a Red Sox fan. They could never get over the hump, And when they finally won the World Series, I got to see it with my grandfather, who was born in 1918, I believe, which was the last time I think the Red Sox were in the World Series prior to or the first time. Maybe it might have been the first time the Red Sox were in the World Series. I can't remember, but it was 1918, I believe. And so I got to sit there and watch them win the championship, the World Series with him, and that was so cool, man. So cool. One of my best memories ever. I won't ever forget that. He was a huge Red Sox fan. I mean, I'm a huge Red Sox fan, but he was you cut him open, he'd bleed Red Sox red, you know. Yeah, he was big. Mike Taylor says Brady proved that Belichick can't win without him. You know, I've gone right up to that line. I've gone right up to that line. I have not said that, but I've gone right up to that line. Me and my son have had many discussion during that year of who meant more to the team. And while I appreciate Belichick for what he does, coaching the team and his coaching ability and everything like that, it's still those players out on the field that have to execute the plays, you know. And really, for nearly 20 years, can't complain. You know, you can't complain that the people on the field got the job done for the most part. So I don't know. I don't know if one would have worked without the other. You know, Brady might not have flourished under somebody else's regime. I don't know. All I know is I didn't like the way he was treated when he left, and I'm so glad that he got to win one more championship. So, but Dr. Manchilla, all this weeping, Rodney. Dr. Silver Eye Shadow. Yeah. Like I said, I'm going to have to turn in my man card here. Oh my gosh, it's 6:00? No, man, where did the time go? Holy mackerel. Oh my gosh. Oh, well, I'm afraid I'm going to have to start wrapping this up, guys. Let's see. Michael Taylor says, Doc, I was just going to say that for Munson, they should have made an exception. Absolutely. It doesn't cost anybody anything to do that. It's the right thing to do. You know what I mean? There's right and there's wrong, and that's the right thing to do. That it's just the right thing to do. And I can't believe that they don't already know that. You know what I mean? Boy, I think it kind of like ticked me off now to find out that he wasn't in. I thought he was, because he definitely should have been. Absolutely. ERIK K. I love Cooperstown. Great little town. It is. We had so much fun there. Lot of fun. Veteran, hey, great to have you with us, sir. He says, is a cool comic shop near the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. Oh, man, if I'd have known that, I'd have been hitting that. Got my first comics there as a kid. Oh, wow. Let's see. I was there probably somewhere around 2017, 2016, maybe. We went a couple of years. I think it was a couple of years in between. So it would have been like maybe 16 and 18 or something like that. So I'm wondering if that comic shop was there. That would have been cool. That would have been neat had I found a comic store. That would have been super cool, man. Dr. Von Chilla says, gonna hang in here as long as I can, but I've got to get off my butt soon and go scrub the bathroom sink, toilet, and shower. It was my only goal today. Oh, man. Well, like I said, I'm going to have to wrap it up pretty quick. I didn't realize it's been 2 hours already. Man, it flies when I'm talking with you guys. I just have so much fun. You know, Shannon's the same way. We talk about it after every single show. It's just like, where did the time go? It's just so fast. It goes by so doggone fast, you know. Veteran says, oh, okay, yeah. Did I click on that again? Oh, no, that was in there twice. For some reason, it went twice. Cool beans. Jackson Roykirk says, nah, rest up some more, John. You can't leave. You're one of us. One of us. Mastodon Comics says, what is it with NASCAR drivers and helicopter crashes? I don't know, man. I don't know. It's just a tragedy. Just sad, you know. Paulo Costa says, racing drivers travel a lot by helicopter. World Rally champion Colin McRae also died in a helicopter crash. Oh, I did not know that. That rally, those are the crazy guys, right? The rally drivers, they're the ones that are like going through, city or towns and then through the woods and deserts and stuff like that. And there's tons of people lined up on the thing. And it's like how somebody in the crowd does not get killed by these things if they crash. I don't know, man. It's just crazy. If that's what I'm thinking of, I thought it was rally driving, but I could be wrong. And I apologize, Paulo, if I am. You'll correct me. I hope so. Mike Attila says, I went in there about 7 years ago. I felt like I was in a childhood time machine. I was pointing out to my mom where the spinner rack and magazine rack was. I was in heaven. Yeah, man. Oh, I'd love to be able to do that. I could do that with the old IGA store, the Demoulas store. I could point out stuff where stuff was and stuff like that, because I remember that layout perfectly. It's same with all the other stores that I remember. I'm not gonna lie about it. I remember how they were set up because we went there so often, and it was such a integral part of being a kid. Grocery night every Wednesday night. So we went to one store for about a year, and then we'd go to someplace else because they might have had better special bargains or better coupons in the newspaper. So, Splash Page Comics, when a kid loved KC and the Sunshine Band. KC and the Sunshine Band. Yes, sir, Reba. Oh, who doesn't like KC and the Sunshine Band? If you don't, and I'm sorry, but I love KC and the Sunshine Band. Absolutely. Dr. Von Chillis and Jackson, we accept him. One of us. I've been singing this song. It's stuck in my head. Consider yourself well in. We don't want to have no fuss. For after some consideration, we can stay. Consider yourself one of us. From Oliver, the musical. I got that stuck in my head the other day, and it was like 3 or 4 days in a row I've had it stuck in my head. So that's just perfect, man. Dr. Manchilla says, love that tale, Michael. Mastodon Comics says, I'm a Browns fan and a Reds fan, so I know what championship drought feels like. Yeah, I think probably all of us, whatever team we've decided to follow has gone through droughts. Being a Red Sox fan, Patriots fan, for years a Celtics fan, Bruins fan, for me. So yeah, there have been droughts, and it just makes you really truly appreciate when they do win a championship, because really how much it takes to do that. You know what I mean? So absolutely, Mastodon. Michael Taylor says, Dr. Manchilla, it was a great experience for me. That sounds it, man. I'm getting all excited for you, Dr. Von Chilla says, Splash Page Comics, KC and the Sunshine Band is phenomenal house cleaning music. There we go. Splash Page Comics, he's laughing about it. He says, true that. Tempest from Mars, have a good week, everybody. Tempest, thank you so much for spending some time with us. Greatly appreciate it, sir. Have a great rest of your weekend and a great week to follow. Jackson Roykirk says, you too, Tempest. ERIK K says, I was at the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1987 with my folks and sister, and 10 years later with my wife, who really liked it, and she does not care for baseball. Well, I got to admit, my wife is a baseball fan. I mean, not just, hey, I can go and wear a pink hat type of baseball fan. No. My wife would go and score the games. We're talking like if we go to the Red Sox or the Sea Dogs, she would score the baseball games. I would score them too, but she scored them better than me. Don't tell her that, but she scored them better than me. But yes, she loved baseball. She loves baseball. So absolutely, I can appreciate that. Dr. Von Chilla says, Tempest from Mars. Later, bud. Easy Comic Rita says, take care, everyone. Have a great week. You too, Easy Comic Rita. Have a great rest of your weekend and a great week to follow, hopefully. We'll see everybody back Saturday morning. We'll do it once again. We'll be back with Shannon and share some comic book memories. Dr. Von Chilla says, see you on the tube, ECR. There you go. Definitely check him out. Jackson Roy Kirk says, take care, everyone. Live long and prosper, he said. And Easy Comic Reader says, thanks, Dr. Von Chilla, with a fist bump. Dr. Von Chilla says, see you, Jackson. Take it easy. Take it twice, he says. Splash Page Comic says, good health, Dr. Von Chilla. Absolutely. Paulo says, Google Rally of Portugal, 1985, to find out about major crashes killing rally. Oh, my gosh. No, I don't. I always I cringe when I see them going through there, and it's like, man, you people are crazy because they're right out next to the road. How they don't get hit all the time, I don't know. I can't imagine. Oh, no. Oh. ERIK K says, bye, John, Easy, and Jackson. Paulo Costa says, sorry, 1986. Oh, my gosh. And the Geeky Puppet Show. He says, we are at 500 subscribers. I've got 500 subscribers? All right. Yeah. Thank you for that news. Thank you. Oh, wait a minute. He says, also, the readings tonight on the channel are from the vault. We strongly encourage people to still watch them over the Taylor Swift Bowl. So you guys have 500 subscribers. Well, congratulations on getting 500 subscribers there, Geeky Puppet Show. Definitely check them out when you get the chance. Geeky Puppet Show says, also, when is Rod going to shave? He looks a bit too manly. Oh my gosh, not if you would have been listening to me cry throughout this thing. Holy mackerel, I've been weepy-eyed most of the time here. Have some testosterone for the rest of us, guys, he says. Dr. Von Chilla says, all right, y'all. See you later. Please love yourselves. John, take care. We'll talk to you again, my friend. Mastodon says, later, everyone. Take care. Have a great rest of your weekend. Michael Taylor says, Doc, Peanut Gallery, have a great week. You as well, Michael. Thank you so much for being here. And Graphic Man Micah says, looking forward to your next 2 hours, Rod. Popcorn is almost ready. There you go. The last 2 hours just flew by, Micah. I started at 4 o'clock. It just flew by. I looked down and I could not believe I had to blink my eyes. I could not believe it was 6 o'clock already. It seems like it's only been 30 minutes, but thank you for stopping by, my friend. I don't have the popcorn yet, but I do have the popcorn boxes ready to go at a moment's notice. Right here. You never know what I have handy here. ERIK K says, Rod, you have 565 subscribers according to your page here. Woo, yeah, no, I was just playing with him. Eric, I knew what he was saying. But yes, I'm thankful for each and every one of those 565 because I can't believe there's 500, let alone 500. I can't believe there's one person that would want to sit and listen to me ramble on, But thank goodness it's been a tremendous community, and we have wonderful people. And, all you folks who just want to hang out with me for 2 hours on a Sunday afternoon, man, that's wild to me, and I love it. I greatly appreciate it. It's wonderful. Geeky Puppet Show say one day we will match Dr. Silver Age in subscribers. Yeah, it's probably going to happen pretty doggone quick, too. So there you go. Geeky Puppet Show also says, then we will pass Graphic Man and beyond. Eric says, okay, Rod, yeah, before. Yeah, no, I was just playing with him. See, I was just testing my acting skills, Hey, Rock's not only a wrestling fan and an actor, you know, I can be one, right? Right? ERIK K says, you better go or you will miss the start of the game. I'm going to go figure out what I'm going to have for supper. I got some pizza left over. I might have that. So, yeah, we'll watch the game. Want to see the commercials. There's supposed to be a Deadpool commercial. I want to see what they're going to do with that because supposedly Wolverine's going to be on it in full costume. I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see it. So, ERIK and everybody, thank you very much for hanging out with me. ERIK, especially you. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you so much, my friend. And yes, these will have a new forever home in my collection. It will be with me as long as I'm on this mud ball, my friend. Thank you so much for these memories. These are great memories. Oh, I can't wait to crack them open. Look at the rankings and all that stuff. Oh, man. So much fun, man. So much fun. Thank you so much, ERIK. I greatly appreciate it, my friend. So, all right. We are 16 past 6. So thank you all once again for hanging out with me and seeing ERIK's great AOK. Unbelievable. Thank you so much. And we will see you guys next Saturday morning. Same bat time, same bat channel at 10 a.m. in the morning. We'll be there and we'll be sharing our comic books and our memories with all of you once again. All right. Take care, everyone. And we will see you on Saturday.